Trample the weak and hurdle the dead. That right there should be the new slogan and moniker for Black Friday. Shopping and savings for this holiday season. You can go and trample all of your fellow man just to be able to make sure you get that pot and pan set for $5 motherfucking dollars. But this Black Friday, one of the biggest things that was being sold gaming-wise was the Xbox One. And according to over 180,000 individuals that decided they were going to participate in a poll where they showcased their receipt, what they bought, where they bought it, and why they bought it, it showed that over 50% of people were buying Xbox One over the competition. And that's taking up, you know, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii U. For some reason, they didn't include Nintendo 3DS, which I thought was kind of strange, and they didn't include PlayStation Vita. But, you know, whatever. I guess they consider the handheld market to be completely and utterly separate. But 51% was the exact number of Xbox One units that were being sold, you know, out of the 100% there. And that speaks volumes. Ultimately, to me, what it ends up saying is that money talks. And most people will go and disagree. They'll be like, no. See, it has to do with this, and that, and that, and that. And here's the thing. You always have to take into account that the everyday average Joe out there that just wants to go and play some video games typically doesn't really give a shit about what logo is on a machine. I mean, die-hard gamers, yeah, we all actually give a shit because we know what exclusive titles are going to be on there. We know exactly what's going to be on PSN and Xbox Live. We know about all the different system features and stuff, and about the preference and controller and the franchises that are tied to those particular brands. But there's a lot of people out there who are just like, I just want to play Call of Duty. I just want to play Assassin's Creed. And when that's all that you want, you don't give a fuck. And that's really the truth. I mean, hell, this Black Friday, I can say, for example, my brother, he got an Xbox One. He got the Assassin's Creed bundle. And that's one of the things. They had 3 bundles going on. They had an Assassin's Creed bundle that came with Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They had one for Sunset Overdrive, which I still really want to try that game because it looks fucking cool. And they had one with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So, and keep in mind that all those bundles, like the Advanced Warfare one, like, looks completely different, and it's like custom paint and all that shit. The Sunset Overdrive one is completely white, which looks pretty goddamn badass, and the Assassin's Creed one is just plain black system, just, you know, what you're used to looking at. But this, again, is one of those things. $330 is what they were selling the shit for, and keep in mind, that was Black Friday. They're keeping their system locked at $350, the bundles, mind you, locked at $350 all the way up until January. And that right there just kind of fucks my head up, because if I was in charge of Sony, and I knew that my biggest competition was $50 cheaper, and for, you know, the biggest holiday shopping day of the entire year was now $70 cheaper, sure as fuck I would match them on that price. I would match them, and I'd do my best to beat them by a couple dollars or just include some kind of crazy shit, because you've got to move that hardware. You know, and especially, keep in mind that they have a decent lead. Why even fucking lose your commanding lead over some trivial shit like that? And especially during one of the most important points in the entire year. November and December, that accounts pretty much for a lot of companies' annual revenue. And that's not even a fucking joke. It seems exaggerated, but it's really not. You know, and again, this is one of those things that somebody could go and argue, well, it's only 180,000 people. You know, we don't know exactly what country, because more than the United States actually goes out and shops on Black Friday. So keep in mind that those numbers, it could be isolated and stuff like that, but to me personally, I think it's one of those things ultimately where I'm just like, your competition's dropping the ball and you got a leg up on them. I mean, right now, Sony, the PlayStation 4 has what, 2 bundles right now that I can think of? They've got The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5, both the remastered editions included in their bundle. And then I think that they have the Lego Batman 3 one, and that's it. And both of them are $400. So, you know, throughout the rest of the year, that's $50 more. And on Black Friday, $70 more. Makes no fucking sense. And keep in mind, 2 of those games that they've included in their main bundle, that shit right there is 2 last-gen games. And all the Xbox One games are current-gen games. And that's another thing to go and think about. It's just like, why the fuck would you go and just... It makes no damn sense to me. It really doesn't. I'm like, first-party games should at least have included, like, Killzone into one of your bundles just for the fuck of it. Like, I would have done that. It makes a ton of sense, but, you know, you can't fucking force common sense into a company who's a multi-billion-dollar fucking conglomerate, but, you know, what the fuck can you do? But then they said that it went 51% towards Xbox One. PlayStation 4 had like 37%, I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment. And then it went to Xbox 360. And that threw me for a fucking loop, because I was just like, wow, Wii U wasn't actually number 3? That's what I was figuring, because to be honest, Wii U's actually got like a really bitchin' lineup of first-party games. And, I mean, whenever you got like Super Mario 3D World, and you've got new Super Mario Brothers, you've got Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers and stuff, Hyrule Warriors, Bayonetta 2, I'm just like, dude, all that shit right there. And they've got bundles out, yeah, so I was kind of surprised, to be honest, that, you know, they didn't have more. I'm waiting for them to have Super Smash Brothers bundle with Amiibo figures, and, like, exclusive Amiibo that only comes in that bundle. You know, that shit will sell like fucking hotcakes. Surprised they didn't do that, I can honestly say. Really surprised they didn't do that. But, either way, and PlayStation 3 was sitting, like, dead last at the bottom, which, you know, again, not all that surprised about that. I don't even know if they had any kind of sales or bundles with that. But if I was in charge of Sony, I'd have dropped the fucking price on the PlayStation 3, like, easily, and included a bunch of shit with it. I mean, you've got tons of titles that you include with it. You might as well get the old stock out and get the most out of it that you can, especially if it's going to be living on for quite a while. I mean, shit, I still play my PlayStation 3, and I will for years down the road, so long as there's good games to play on it. But whenever you're still selling them brand new in retail outlets, what the fuck are you thinking by not trying to go and really just say, hey, get this the fuck off store shelves, take them. But Sony right now, they're still sitting at $400. It's one of those things that's kind of weird. But I can say kudos to Microsoft. You definitely did the right thing. You made it cheaper, and that's what you've got to do. If every single company just dropped the price of tons of shit just out of nowhere, and like, we're going to do this for a certain amount of time, people are going to be coughing up money, just their wallets will be like, blah, blah, blah. Fucking debit cards and fucking credit cards are going to be swiping themselves and shit. PayPal accounts are just like, oh my god, I'm fucking leaking everywhere, and it's all money, ah! And it's no fucking joke, you know, but what can you do? Anyway, this is one of the things that I want to know, though. Is this actually going to allow Xbox One to go and catch up to Sony as far as the overall sale numbers go? Because I know last time that I checked, Sony was sitting at like somewhere over 10 million, and Xbox One was like hot on its heels. You know, so is this going to allow them to be neck and neck? And to me, I'm happy with something like that. Most people will be like, no, I want my system to win. No, I want my system to win. No, you want both of them to be doing their damnness for your gaming dollar. When competition breeds competition, which breeds better deals for all of us. And that's what I like. That means better games because they're going to be trying 10 times harder. It's going to be better savings because, well, we shouldn't have to spend shit tons of money, though, if you do think about it. But the past, like, couple console generations, this is actually one of the cheaper ones. And that's no joke. Like, this is actually one of the cheapest console generations that's happened in quite a while. And to be honest, kind of impressive. I mean, if gaming kept up with inflation, essentially right now we'd be coughing up money as if like we were all Neo Geo AES enthusiasts. And just like, so, firstborn and bank loan, a couple internal organs, yeah, we're gonna need all that shit. So you can go and just get this system. That's it. It doesn't even come with a controller or any wires or anything. So you can just have the system. That's all. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. That's all that you get. That big brick right there. But it's one of those things, like, it does make me happy that it's not costing an arm and a leg. But either way, do you think that this will allow Xbox One to go and catch up? What is 2015 going to hold? I know 2015 is going to be showcasing a lot more, like, first-party exclusives for Sony, because right now they don't really have a whole hell of a lot. Xbox One actually has quite a few. And, you know, that's one of the things, again, does speak volumes. But essentially, if the biggest selling bundles on everything are just the third-party games that are available on each respective system, it just showed that it was just a matter of numbers. And Sony should have just matched them on it. They were fucking stupid. So, Microsoft, you done did good, and Sony, get your shit together, because if you're really investing in this system, you need to make that shit cheaper. Cut your losses on the system, you know, right now, and just worry about their respective future, and all the titles that'll be tied to it, because most people will get a system, buy several games for. If it's really cheapo? That's not a word. If it's really cheap, then people are going to go and buy more games for it. So they won't just, like, stick with the bundled games. They'll be like, oh, I can now afford a couple extra games because normally it's $400. So there you go. Either way, holiday shopping season is going to be going on all the way until like fucking February, so this shit's out of control. Either way, opinions, thoughts, feelings on all that shit. Did you actually go out and get any of the bundles this time? Anybody in retail got any opinions on this, that you were going and selling stuff? Just kind of curious out there. All I can do is read numbers and stuff and go and talk about them, so I want to hear from all of you. Either way, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.